Sadiq Khan has been caught out in a big fat lie, but before we get into it, if this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and show your support for freedom of speech. And joining me to discuss this topic is Martin Costello. 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Welcome back, Martin.
Thank you very much, David. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Spent about 2 hours trying to give myself an haircut today. So I was out with some paper scissors and a small beard trimmer, doing the bending in and all that. It was a right state. I was contemplating shaving the whole thing off. My girlfriend came out. So I looked like a bit like a hillbilly, a bit of a mullet going on. It was like Carol Baskin. Managed to get through it. It doesn't look too bad.
That is a cracking job. You're looking very smooth, I must say.
It's a bit of Forrest Gump, but it'll do. Anyway, so whilst all this was going on, I got a notification through from Twitter. Sean Bailey has retweeted Sadiq Khan. So I thought, oh, hello, let's have a look at this. So Sadiq Khan has put out a tweet claiming that the fares on TfL will have to go up because of the government. So basically, TfL, Transport for London, has had to get a bailout from the government for £1.6 billion. In 2016, this was predicted. And basically, the prediction was that TfL would fall into a black hole. Its budget would have a black hole of 1.9 billion because of Sadiq Khan freezing the fares, buses and tubes, etc. And now, obviously, he's tried to pass the buck. He's tried to blame this on the government. He was retweeted by Sean Bailey, and Sean Bailey put a link into the tweet showing an article from March the 13th with Sadiq Khan saying that if he's re-elected, he will have to put the fares up. So he was going to have to put the fares up anyway, but might as well blame it on the government, Martin, eh?
Well, exactly. And, you know, Sadiq Khan, though, he has never, ever been up to this job as being mayor, you know, and he's always been excellent at passing the buck to other people, you know. And we've always just seen, you know, disgraceful inaction from him at every turn in crises. You know, he's always appeared to be overwhelmed and underbrained, and he just can't seem to deal with anything. And the bloke, you know, as we know, is presided over knife crime getting to ridiculous proportions. You know, it's more now dangerous to be in London than New York. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible mayor, and London need to rid themselves of him.
Yeah, well, he's well out of his depth. We saw when the coronavirus first hit the United Kingdom, the last video we did on Sadiq Khan was talking about him putting the train service on a Sunday service, so there was fewer trains. Obviously, key workers trying to get to work all crowded on these carriages, so they can't social distance. He blamed that on the government. Obviously, that was his own decision. He said that his decisions come from the World Health Organization, but he still tried to pass the buck on that onto the government. So now we're seeing a hike in congestion charge as well as the fares. So the congestion charge is going up from £11.50 a day to £15 a day. The hours are being extended from it's supposed to finish at 6 p.m. So it's 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Now it's going on till 10 p.m. and it's also been extended to weekends as well. So this is going to affect working class London big time, because obviously people have got to use their transport to drive around and get around. And after these announcements, check this out. He then announces making London, the City of London, a car-free zone, saying that London's road to recovery cannot be clogged by cars.
Interesting. He obviously doesn't like things like tourists and people coming in. And once again, you see him pandering to the people like Greta Thunberg, can't you? You know, trying to get the green vote and all the rest of it. You know, there's much bigger things to be looking at. You know, he's got so much to answer for. He is driving London into the ground, you know. When I think of London, I think back to like Mary Poppins and things like that. But it couldn't be any further from that for now. And as an outsider, you know, it's not somewhere that I enjoy visiting anymore. And that's all down to him. He's completely killing the tourist attraction of London. The man has just got to go.
Well, he's not a leader, and it's not the first time that we've seen poor judgment come from the man. I mean, do you remember we were doing the speech for Donald Trump at the
Yeah.
US embassy, and he was saying that Sadiq Khan was saying that Donald Trump wasn't welcome in the United Kingdom. But let's not forget when he was a lawyer, when he was representing Islamic extremists at the time. There was a case where he represented the leader of the Nation of Islam, who was refused entry into the United Kingdom, and he was saying that we should let him in because we're a country of free speech, etc. blah, blah. And then a few years down the line, we heard him say that Donald Trump isn't welcome. So, one hand, an Islamic extremist is welcome into the country,
Yeah.
but the United States isn't. I think that speaks volumes, don't you think?
Well, it does. And as we see again from the left, the double standards, the hypocrisy, you know, they love the freedom of speech as long as it's what they want to hear. Anything else, they just want to close it down all the time. It's actually hypocrisy. And like to actually not want to welcome the president of the United States into London, he doesn't speak for us. He just speaks for himself. And I think that's a massive, massive insult. What does that do for relations with our countries and to other countries around the world? You know, he is really upset. Well, he did upset a lot of people after doing that because he doesn't speak for the United Kingdom, and he's completely out of order doing that. You know, and he should look, as Donald said, he's a stone cold loser. He should concentrate on his job, getting London sorted out, so he can show, look, this is why you should re-elect me again because I've done such an amazing job. But he hasn't, no. He's just wrecked London, you know, the capital of our nation. He's driving it into the ground. There's places there, you know, I'd feel very fearful being in. He's just got to go for the sake of our glorious capital.
Well, as you were saying before, the murder rate in London exceeded that of New York City.
Oh.
So that in itself speaks volumes. But yeah, hopefully it's time for a change. A friend of mine who's a bus driver, who's part of, we spoke about this before, he's part of various WhatsApp groups. Apparently bus drivers aren't very happy with Sadiq Khan, and they're backing Sean Bailey. So hopefully we see a change and see Sean Bailey into power. We need someone, you know, we need a real leader in charge of this. Khan isn't a leader. Hopefully Sean Bailey can get in and make a change and sort London out. But thanks very much for your time, Martin. Just want to discuss that because you know, he's been caught out in a lie, and you know, these sort of things go unsaid and people don't talk about it. So it's nice to get this out there. We'll leave a link below this video so you can check out and tweet yourselves and leave a comment.
And you're right to bring it up, David. This is a really serious issue that people need to talk about. Hopefully we can get Sean Bailey. You can get Sean Bailey on at some time. That'll be a good natter too.
Yeah, it would be very nice to have him on. I think we'll drop a message. You never know, chances are. But anyway, thanks again, Martin. You take care.
No worries.
You've banded about a figure that's incorrect, and I'm correcting you. You've banded about a figure that's incorrect, and I'm correcting you.
1.9 billion. Do you concede that's the accurate figure now?
I don't accept this nonsense being banded about of a 1.9 billion.
What, TfL are lying, are they?
Transport for London's figure of 1.9 billion as the cost.
Why won't you accept TfL's figure of 1.9 billion pounds?
Well, there are lots of figures being banded about. You've banded about a figure that's incorrect, and I'm correcting you.
You disagree with the 1.9 billion which Transport for London
say that.
Just to clarify, TfL have got their figures wrong.
So TfL haven't said there's a 1.9.
Would take you to a figure of 1.9 billion.
1.9 billion.
1.9 billion. 1.9 billion pounds. I don't think this issue is going away.